guys were guinea pigs, I really didn't know how it was going to go. It was either going to be like, she's batshit. Why is she bringing out feathers? Why are we getting blindfolded? I was like, they might think I'm crazy. People might think it's a sex party, but it's not. But Align fam, I definitely wanted to bring on now some of the gentlemen who've come to the Line experience and have them share their stories. First to honor them for showing up. I understand for those who are new to self-development, sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating. And some of the veterans like Rich, they get into it. They get kind of put out their full self. They have fun with it. So first is Rich and Charles. I wanted to first say hello and honor you both on joining to the Line podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I think first is I always when people first hear about the Line experience, they're just like, what the fuck is this? Like it's a huge mix. Rich, you're so sweet. You try to describe it sometimes to people, and there's like dating involved, there's like business, and there's matchmaking, and there's workshops. So now that you've gone through it twice, Rich, how would you describe the Line experience?
I would describe it as not a conference, if you will, but sort of a gathering of people where you can connect on different levels, whether it's you meet someone that like, oh wow, I could be friends with this person and go for some drinks, or oh, I can maybe explore romance with this person, or talk business with this person. So it's different things you can get out of it, what you want to get out of it. But it's just sort of like you're thrown in a room with a bunch of strangers, so to speak. You know, you might know someone there coincidentally, and it's just a cool experience. Kind of, you can get out of it what you want. You don't have to go in, or you can go in with a mindset to do one thing and get something else out of it. That's what I like about it. You don't know what you're getting, even though if you think you know what you're getting, it's like,
Yeah.
oh wait, I kind of thought it was this. Oh, it's a little more like this. But I like, and I traditionally don't like surprises and stuff. I'm very sort of like regimented, if you will,
Yeah.
anal, for lack of a more polite word, I guess. But for me, it's like, okay, I'm down with this. It's cool. It's something different. So that's just my sort of quick feedback as far as like, it's just cool, you know,
Awesome.
because it's
Awesome.
something different.
Thank you, Rich. And then Charles, this is your first time. So how would you describe it now that you've been to it?
Well, I would echo Rich's comments there with the added component that clearly you've curated it, and I would say the underlying theme is that everybody is kind of there for somewhat similar reasons. I wouldn't say like somebody might be more specific with romantic or business partner, but we're all searching for something in self-growth. That's kind of really my addition to Rich's comments.
Got it. Okay. I think that's pretty spot on. And then who do you think should attend the Line experience? Who are the people that you feel like, hey, if you're seeking this or you want clarity on that, like these are the type of people that should come, or maybe like the profiles of people if you want to pinpoint. So, Charles, how would you want to start? Who are the type of people that should be attending the Line experience?
Um, I mean, again, echoing on somebody that is wants that self-growth, reflective, somebody that's decently professional. That doesn't mean they have to be an MD at Goldman or something. It can be a wide range. It could be somebody that, as even we saw at your event, it's just somebody that's active in takes pride in their craft.
Yeah.
So that those are there's many more. I'm just kind of rolling off what's on top of my head.
Great. I love it. Yeah, 100%. I would say the things that I look for are kind, genuine, and ambitious. And I always tell people who interview with me or apply for the experience, ambition isn't just how much money you make or your title, like your exact point. Like, I don't care you're an MD at Goldman. Are you truly passionate about it? Are you driven to adding to humanity? Are there other passions outside of it? Right. So you hit it spot on. It's more of like, are you a person that's just ambitious to experience life and give back to life? So I think you described it really well, Charles. Rich, what about you? What do you think are the type of people that should be coming to the Align experience?
Curious people who are curious. I think that because it's one of those things where, again, you can be into something, like you can be wanting to go for one reason or think you want to go to it, but get something else totally out of it. So I
Yeah.
think it's just for people who kind of keep an open mind about life and who are open to meeting new people. Because no matter what you're there for in your mind, end of the day, you're going to meet some new people.
Yeah.
And it's so people who are just open to meet new people, explore some self-help or the growth
Yeah.
as well. It's kind of like a mixed bag. It's like you can
Yeah.
go in one thing and walk out with something that you didn't intend. So that's
Yeah.
what I think's cool about it.
I do hear that's a common thing where I feel like people have like, I only want to take this out of it, right? Like, only want to make like romantic connections. And then they come, they're like, wait a minute, there's so many things about myself I haven't worked on yet. I'm not even fully ready to track that person. Or they find like their business partner. So you're 100% right. There's so many ways that can go about it. Now I would like to go a little bit on more like your personal story. So what surprised you or what impacted you the deepest about the experience? And it could be like specific exercises or memories. What were some things that like deeply impacted you or surprised you at the event last Saturday? Rich, do you want to start?
What surprised me? I guess what surprised me right off the bat was just the people that had come from so far away or just overseas, like London, DC, like that. I was kind of like, oh wow, like people are really like that's cool. Like to
Yeah.
get people to travel for it. That's what sort of surprised me. In the sense, I guess the first one I didn't, the people I met were pretty
Local.
local. It seemed like so I wasn't thinking like, oh wow. So that was the one thing that surprised me. Nothing being that I had been to one before, nothing really surprised me because I kind of knew that whatever was going to be, there would be something new in a sense.
Got it.
So I wasn't
Yeah.
so much surprised, except like, oh wow, people from travel from other. But otherwise, I went into it expecting things to be different and
Different.
new. Yeah. So yeah.
Great. And then I would say, were there a certain moment of, or exercise that really like you left with it thinking like, huh, that changed my perspective, or huh, I never thought about myself that way. I had one specific moment, but wanted to hear from you. Like, was there something that really stuck with you, or an exercise that you did, or a conversation that you had?
No, I just remember the session with you, the one lady, like her
Eunice.
sort of feedback, the lady who won, the British lady.
Eunice. Yeah.
Goodness. Like I remember what she said in that sort of
Yep.
setting was like, like she was very interesting in that in a sense. But otherwise, I just thought it was all positive and good and hearing different people's perspectives. But hers just kind of stuck in my mind, I guess, at the time.
So
Yeah.
Rich, you had it, you kept saying you're difficult, you're difficult, difficult. And like that's just like identity that you absorbed from clearly someone in your life in the past has called you difficult, right? And when you and I did a mock date and I put you through hell and the ringer, right? Um, Eunice was like, how are you difficult? You were so kind to her, even though she was miserable. And like all the guys at that group were like, I would have walked out of that date, you know? So it's just to me, it was fascinating how sometimes we take what one person or people have said in our past and make that our identity when like every person I know does not think you're difficult. Like you're the most easygoing. You have people cancel on you last minute all the freaking time. I would have go bazook up the wall, you know? So it's just beautiful to see like when someone like a perfect stranger sees you,
Mhm.
they can kind of rewrite or make you reconsider what you've thought of yourself. And it's oftentimes for the better. It's not for the worse.
Oh no, I still know I'm difficult.
Okay.
Like my siblings say I'm difficult. Like my ex-wife who was just calling me, I'm a difficult person. Not extremely negative way. I acknowledge it, but I don't care. I'm particular, let's say.
Right.
I might say difficult, but I'm particular, whatever it is. Like
So
yeah,
that's I think
accept that.
that's what Eunice and the group were saying. You have standards, you're particular, but it
Yes,
doesn't
I
make you
like what I like and I know what I like.
right, 100%, right? Which I felt like everyone in that group was like, yo, then we are all particular, then we're all difficult. So love that. And then how about you, Charles? This is your first time. So what surprised you? And was there a specific memory, conversation, or exercise that like deeply impacted you?
Hmm. What I would say, like kind of echoing Richard's thoughts, because I've known you over the years, and you know, I've got some sense of what the event. I knew that there was going to be a lot of exploring, but I will say it was nice to see that there's all these different curated sessions, very different topics, and I just didn't know what any of them were really honestly going to be.
Yeah.
But it was just nice to see that it was very well put together, and kind of going on this theme we've been talking about is everyone being open, self-reflective. And I would add something more to that. It's not just being open, but they're willing to put in the work to make themselves better. I always find that's a key part to, or at least my opinion is that you need to be willing to put in whatever the work is, and it's end up going to be sometimes just pretty monotonous and boring, but
Yeah.
the end result is nice. And I just got that sense that everybody in there was had those qualities in one form or another. Um, Conversation that stuck out. I mean, there were several that I thought were interesting. I mean, I would say the first session with you, Jess, which was the romantic session,
Mm.
was interesting. Um, uh, all of the three personal conversations, or what am I, the three people you linked us up with, those were all great. I mean,
Nice.
obviously Rich, you and I, and I forget who else was sitting with us at the name's
Sean.
escaping me.
Was it
Yeah,
Sean?
yeah,
Yeah.
Sean. But the first one as well, Dennis was great. We're talking about doing some sort of project, or, I mean, chances are that it's probably just really low, like any deal. But the fact that there's some follow up there is interesting. And then of course your sister is great, and I really want to follow up with her as well.
Amazing.
So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. I know it's
Yeah.
not exactly super specific, but
No, it's perfect. I think to your point about how, it was great to see people were willing to be there and do the work on being growth oriented. I think that's why I've evolved this event. The first OG one was purely just dating, right? And what happened
yeah.
was people were like, wait a minute. The guys were like, I actually hit it off with XYZ. Can we like just hang out as friends? And the girls were like, we also hit it off. I think for me, it's like the reason why I keep these events so open is because when you're in a room full of people who are so growth oriented, there's a chance they could be the best business partner, life partner, or friendship. It is like, as long as you're around people who are willing to grow and become better, like it could be really anything. So I'm glad that you like picked that up. Like everyone's definitely very intentional in being there. And the other thing what you mentioned about the love and romance section. So one of the sessions that we did for the guests that are listening that didn't come, it's called pure seduction, but using seduction to form those deeper connections. And I play on that bit because oftentimes we think of seduction as very like manipulative and very transactional. It's all about like money and sex and power. But the whole point of that was like the most seductive thing about you is when you're being your true self and you're showing that version of yourself on dates, at meetings, and you're able to connect with people. So when I put Rich through hell, I was the girl who was like so superficial, cared about like the status, cared about money, and like have the worst first date possible. And then in your session, Charles, you actually got to see the version of me when I'm able to be more open and vulnerable and connect with someone, right? So
Yeah.
I was actually, I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked. I had this idea to do one on seduction because I was like, I want to make this the most sensual one yet. And I want to get people uncomfortable because we've gotten a lot of people who are like repeats now. This was really like, you guys were guinea pigs. I really didn't know how it was going to go. It was either going to be like, she's batshit. Why is she bringing out feathers? Why are we getting blindfolded? I was like, they might think I'm crazy. People might think it's like a sex party, but it's not. But I'll show you the results when I'll send it out. It was by far the most favorite session. So I think the lesson there learned is like when you have this crazy idea that sounds a little bit like goofy or like out of the blue or like maybe risky, do it. Like it puts people out of their comfort zone. That's how people actually open up more and they're be able
Mhm.
to like show more of their true self. And then the last part you mentioned, Charles, was that the matches. So every guest that comes, I personally put on my coaching hat and I match people up based on their goals, what they're looking for, and personality fit. So I'm glad all that worked out. I always say, like, for example, with Dennis, right? Even if a deal doesn't work between you two, now you've just opened each other's network and world, right? And like you and I, like how many deals, how many opportunities have we passed along each other since like what, almost 7 years that we've known each other? So I think this whole experience is like, stop thinking you come and you immediately get things out of it. It's like you have to nurture those relationships and see where they go. So love to hear that. And I think final question I want to ask you guys is, you kind of hit on it, but maybe there's something that you haven't highlighted yet. We'll start with Rich. What have you gained from the day so far? 2 weeks out.
I'm always open to meeting new people, and just I'm a chatty person anyway. So even before I worked in hospitality as a kid, I was a talker, a listener, wanting to do something fun, like always kind of in the mix. So to me, it's just more like being in the mix, meeting some new people. Who knows where this is going to go? It's always fun meeting new people, I think.
Yeah.
Hence what I do.
Love that. And Charles, how about you? What have you gained from the day? Well, you mentioned the connections, but anything else that you maybe nuggets or reflections? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jess, you know that I was going through, and I still am, like a bit of a transitional item there with a breakup. So I would say it's nice to get the reinforcement that like healing and growing, and that you're on that journey, and you're never really alone. There's always like good people out there. So
100%. And I think
you're a handsome fella. I think you're going to be okay.
actually, both of you, you're all beautiful people. So
probably got a couple of dollars in your pocket. You look pretty good.
Yeah.
You'll be okay, mate.
Yeah, Charles needs to come out with us, Rich. I think he'll be just fine.
You live in the city, Charles?
So I split my time between Orlando, well, I guess among Orlando, Jackson Hole, New York. I'm in New York about just under 6 months. Williamsburg, yeah.
Yes,
So
I remember that. Okay.
So I'm up there most of the summer, spring, and fall, and then I'm out
You like
for
to ski?
a good chunk of the winter. Yeah, just to board. Which you guys got to come out to Jackson Hole.
I'm in. You already know. I'm coming. I'm coming when you're there this time. Rich knows I'm obsessed with like anything country and skiing, and put me in a cowboy hat. I'd be so happy. But no, I love to hear that, Charles, and I hope like you, a lot of people were going through their own like healing journeys when it comes to their love life. And a beautiful thing that I've noticed women kept saying was like, wow, there are actually men that want commitment. Like, there are actually men who want something real. I thought everyone just wanted to hook up, right? So it was beautiful. I think the women like put down their walls so much because they were surrounded with men like you guys who either have committed before, have been married before, right? And like want something real. And so I think in a way, when you're getting healing to see that everyone's going through a journey, you're also healing the women that are showing up. And I think being around a group of people who are constantly growing and doing the work, it's going to get you closer to ultimately your life partner. Because the opposite is definitely not fit, right? If you're constantly growing and working yourself and your partner's just like, I'm good here, I'm gonna be a housewife, you just go handle your shit, I don't think it'll work for any of us in this chat.
No, and vice versa. Yeah, no, it's I agree.
Yeah, so awesome. Thank you guys so much. And I think I've told you guys, but I haven't like publicly announced it, for the Align Experience veterans and people who are very, I would say, familiar with self-development. We've just launched the Elite Track, Elite Circle, and the difference between that and Align Experience is that it is much more, think about the breakups that you guys went through, it's about 10 people. It's gonna be that, but deeper. So all the prompts that you have, oftentimes I get feedback like, I wish I had more time to dive deeper. I wish I had more time to go through the prompts. It's basically at that breakout session going deeper, and obviously all new prompts. There's 3 tracks, one about love and romance, one about career and purpose, another about like intuition and making smart decisions. So of course you guys are invited, would love to have you. And for the guests who are listening now who are like, ooh, this sounds cool, you'll get more information about it. It'll be linked at the bottom. But gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today, and I will see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice seeing you, brother.
Charles, good to see you again, brother.
Likewise. Right. We'll hang soon.